Welcome one and all to the Emirates Stadium in North London. It's a cold night and it's a venue at which, if their grand ambitions are to be fulfilled, Arsenal dare not stumble. Tonight their guests are Aston Villa, whose victory here in April was the one which in effect prevented the Gunners from becoming champions last year.
Get of him.
Trossard. Martinelli! What a stop, Martinez! Goal given! Goal given! Gabriel Martinelli by millimetres! And Arsenal have their breakthrough!
Well, the timing of this is purple in.
Trossard. Trossard and Havertz! Now that's a really sweet one! How it matters to him! How it matters to Arsenal!
Well, again, it's all about Trossard, isn't it, in the first in.
In by Digne Tielemans! That's a smashing header! What a really good goal! And how he committed to it!
It's the afternoon of left-sided crosses of the ball here. Absolutely fantastic ball in. Bahada spreading play to deep.
It was aimed at Konsa, repelled by Marino, gathered by Cash. It's a good ball from Matty Cash! It's an Aston Villa equaliser! Snapped home by Ollie Watkins! Mountain to climb, they climbed it!
This ball by Matty Cash is exceptional, absolutely exceptional, and the finish.
Challenges and kept the ball expertly and hung up across Declan Rice, which came out to Marino! Now there's a moment! Hear how it feels! That the goal be disallowed for handball. And that might be why Marino's reaction was subdued. Dropped points and a grey face. Mikel Arteta digests the indigestible. Arsenal had led 2-0. Martinelli and Havertz. Aston Villa with pluck and bravery dragged it back. And this, therefore, turns out to be Liverpool's day. And so today, where once you knew for certain, now you're not so sure. The Etihad almost dare not wonder what lies ahead as the champions Manchester City reach the end of a week which included a 6-0 away win and then a European collapse of startling proportions in the German domestic league to this point. Oh, that's a poor back pass, that's Jackson, that's Madueke, that's 1-0 Chelsea! And that has silenced the place. And poor Kushanov allows his shoulders to sink. Well, if you have blood in your veins and a heart that beats, then you cannot help but feel profound sympathy for that young man. 2 minutes into the biggest events of his young life. Gundogan lifted into the path here of Nunez. Sanchez came and Guardiola scored! Manchester City have been banging on the Chelsea door. No one with more vigour than Josko Gvardiol, who finally has his way. Haaland nicking it away from Chalobah. Goalkeeper has come here. Erling Haaland! Yet another goal for the Haaland Platinum Connection. Sanchez lost. Guardiola uplifted. Haaland in the headlines again. This will be 6 Premier League games unbeaten. That's Haaland. He's fed it for Foden, and Foden is all by himself. And Phil Foden settles it. With strength and self-certainty. And bit by bit, week by week, Manchester City feel themselves again. For Manchester City, another recuperative win. Friends embrace, much mutual admiration and respect, but Pep has leapfrogged Enzo. Manchester City have leapfrogged Chelsea. Khrushchev is embraced by those who forgive his early era, because as you see, City have climbed back up into the top four, and this is another little signal, and there have been a few in recent weeks, that they are on their way back.
David, thank you. Filthy day, fabulous day, wonderful sights and exhilarating sound. This place rumbles as it does only for this collision of the historically mighty. Liverpool parading that might emphatically in the here and now. United as distant from it as recent memory can recall. But regardless of weather and form and context, this for each is always the one.
Bruno Fernandes. Lisandro Martinez! Thunders it in for Manchester United at Anfield! A goal rare and precious! His last back. McAllister. Gakpo! Fabulous goal! Amongst the men of Liverpool's moment, Cody Gakpo stepped up. Alexander-Arnold. Bruno Fernandes. Could come down here for Salah, and there are handball questions.
I think his hand was high and it hit his hand, I think. I think he could be...
He's actually turning away.
It's a penalty. Mo Salah! Another Salah arrow through Manchester United hearts. Again from Garnacho. Garnacho's cross. Ahmad! Well, that shakes it up again. Manchester United are not going away. And that is the top and the bottom of it. That is a fallen head. That is a belting football match in the finest tradition of this rough old rivalry. On the day they are inseparable. The two monsters with so little common ground have to shake on a share of it. Anfield to some extent feels anticlimax. United take some pleasure in stalling the enemy. United at the very end might have won it.
David, good afternoon and thank you. And so the central game, perhaps the determinant, the contest on which these last years the whole show has pivoted. For City, the enduring champions, here is the principal challenge. For Arsenal, so voraciously ambitious, it is the nut they are obliged to crack. Nor do many ever really crack Pep. He has beaten Arsenal more than anybody else. Savinho gliding gorgeously and playing in. Erling Haaland to complete a dazzling City century. The phenomenon, 100 goals in a flash.
That is
Muscle and might, power and poise. And of the ton, that could be the one. Summon the two skippers, Kyle Walker and Bukayo Saka, to talk through those. Meantime, here's Martinelli to drive at Walker and set it back for Calafiori! Oh, it's a beauty! What a strike! What a moment for Ricardo Calafiori to introduce himself to England's big league! City incensed now. This place is boiling. That is fury, that is damaging. Unalloyed anger versus unalloyed joy. Saka takes, Gabriel's in there! Absolutely unstoppable! A force of muscular nature! And Arsenal lead on the champions patch!
You can smell it. 5 minutes to go.
And then by Timber. And now Trossard's emerging.
Oh, he's kicked it away as well. He's get booked.
Oh, he's off. And he's going to walk. Leandro Trossard is walking on the cusp of half-time. Arsenal have been here before, very recently.
And they aren't learning.
For City, this is 9-9-9. Grealish. Kovacic! It's 2-2! At the very last!
Oh, it's gone off between the benches.
John Stones takes the acclaim! City are out of jail! And Arsenal are downcast! And this is now beyond fractious! A crazy climax! A furious reaction! What a battle! What a bout! A warmth of handshake which contrasts hugely with a fractious climax, at the heart of which was John Stones. Manchester City are top but no longer perfect. Arsenal have to an extent clipped the wings of the champions. But it's a story that goes way beyond all of that. From the very outset, it was a collision. It shook, it reverberated. There was barely a moment that passed that wasn't contentious. It boiled from moment one. Kelly, thank you. Roy nailed it. Forget the past, forget the future. This is Manchester on a day when nothing else needs to matter. City unsteady on their pedestal. United amid the painful birth pangs of another new era. But this, in all its stark partisanship, is a here and now day. It is them or us. De Bruyne went short. Gundogan. De Bruyne squeezes something in, and Manchester City have a lead. Josko Gvardiol. How they thirsted for that.
Well, it's been such a poor game so far in terms of quality.
Well, that's an awful back
shot.
pass from Nunes. Ahmad.
Oh, it's penalty.
Penalty kick. Ahmad upended. Anthony Taylor on the scene. And Manchester United have a glimpse of salvation here. The derby may hinge on this kick. Bruno Fernandes may have dug out the Reds. And now there's nothing between them on Derby Day.
Well, as Manchester United fans.
Martinez.
He's through.
Ahmad through the middle, he's got a touch on it. And Ahmad has scored for Manchester United! In the 90th minute! That's a staggering moment! A mood-turning moment! From nowhere and from behind, United have turned it round in a trice. The end. The Diallo derby. For Manchester United, the healing, restorative, uplifting power of a derby win. A win on the turf of their champion neighbours. And here is a day when that boy became a man. Kelly, thank you. Well, the worst of the weekend storm has passed, but this place is growling. Spurs-Chelsea has a mood of its own. They just don't get on, besides which Tottenham need this. 1 win in 6. There are rumblings here. And Chelsea really want it. Week on week, their top-end challenge feels ever more real. And Johnson's hurriedly onto it. Solanke's through the middle. Son's there too. Johnson, Solanke! It's a Tottenham Hotspur flyer! And Cucurella hands his head. Flipped again. Kulusevski's onto it. Dejan Kulusevski! Has squeezed it in, and Spurs are 2 to the good in next to no time.
Cucurella's coming to the bench. Don't blame anyone else, it's your own fault, son.
Sancho, oh, terrific goal. That is a piercing hit. This is a gripping game.
Well, I said the thing that could keep Chelsea going is the fact that Tottenham give you a chance.
Sancho fiddled through for Caicedo. Bissouma's challenge, penalty kick. Right on the hour. Cole Palmer is the man. And Chelsea are right back where they started.
Yeah, never mind penalties. He only got.
Cole Palmer, lovely change of direction. Enzo Fernandez! 2-0 down, 3-2 up! Chelsea are tormenting Tottenham again. Cole Palmer. Oh. Ice cold. And Chelsea are right in the thick of the title debate. Maddison round the back. James Maddison, Son! 3-4. And a minute to play.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I'm not stopping James Maddison.
The end. See what it means. Fabulous football match, and Chelsea are living their best lives. Chelsea are central to the big issues, right at the very top. Chelsea once more have tormented Tottenham. Cole Palmer was a delight, and they are established now as a principal challenger to the leaders, Liverpool. David, good afternoon, thank you. Sussex by the Sea is licking its lips at the prospect of this one. Two of the Premier League's personality teams, possession greedy, high line, high energy, sometimes high risk for high reward. By the naked eye, by every modern metric, Brighton Spurs appears to promise plenty, each intent on winning with style, to which end Fabian Hürzeler has attempted this week to learn and implement the lessons of last Saturday's Stamford Bridge mayhem. So here again, here is to a bit of dash and dare. Two teams who want the ball, who for most of the season to date have largely had the ball. Brighton off the first big bump in their new road. Spurs in a sweet spot. Maddison, Solanke, Brilliant Johnson! The joy of 6 in a row! He just can't help himself.
But what a start it's been for Tottenham.
Solanke holding off Belieber. And here goes Werner again. Timo Werner. And James Maddison! It's wriggled in! And the Spurs smile broadens. It's a nasty moment for Bart Verbruggen, who can only hang his head. But Maddison puffs out his chest, and Tottenham are happening. Stupinian. And Mitoma Udogie left it, and Minter belted it in! And Brighton have a live interest!
Well, it's a big defensive mistake, the way Tottenham profited from one. Boothbed Bruggen. Matoma's been the danger man, hasn't he?
And it sets the contest up. This is Stupinian. Kaoru Mitoma. Jorginho Rutter! 2-inch! It's a whole different place! Bright and breezy!
Well, Matoma gets the assist, the danger man.
Ange Postecoglou does not enjoy the whole new game he's watching. Rutter. That's just crazy! From nowhere to on top of the world! Danny Welbeck is leaping!
Well, how?
Postecoglou doesn't know where to look. Inexplicable, but thrilling. The Seagulls have spread their wings and lifted this place to the heights. For Fabian Hutzler, a launch game as Tottenham blink it back disbelievingly. Brennan Johnson had Tottenham on their way. 6 goals in 6 games. Everything in their garden was rosy. Nothing apparently could go wrong. Danny Welbeck completed the total transformation. Truly a remarkable football match by any stretch. A story which at half-time was quite unforetellable. But Hutzler will tell it long into his old age. The final score here, Brighton and Hove Albion 3, Tottenham Hotspur 2.
David, thank you. An uproarious welcome for the principal pretenders. It is a fevered, fast, darkening evening. The clocks are back, and Arsenal and Liverpool spearhead the challenge to the champions into the long winter months. White's ball is a beauty, and Saka's onto it. He checks away from Robertson. Lashes Arsenal in front. Bukayo Saka makes his mark again at once. What a ball from White. That's making mischief on the line. Alexander-Arnold with the corner. It got its flick, it got its touch from Virgil van Dijk, right on the line, and Liverpool are level. A captain's goal apiece. And Rice flings it in, and Arsenal have their lead. Mikel Merino tiptoed round the back. Brought away by Soboslai. Alexander-Arnold, that's beautifully weighted. That's Nunez, and that's Salah, and that is 2-2.
Oh, his passing was wayward, but not anymore.
And so they share it. And given the context, and given the circumstances, and for him, given the complicated factors, perhaps that is a draw over which they will be glad to shake hands. Mutual satisfaction, if not quite complete. The conversation goes on, the debate goes on, the row goes on, the story goes on. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2.
Good day to you, one and all. We are in Birmingham, slap bang in the middle of England, at the end of what has been a gorgeous day across our land. The sun begins to set and Villa Park rises to a game of considerable consequence. Oh, he's been allowed to go here, Dwight McNeil. And McNeil got a shot away and scored a super goal! Well, that has stuck a pin in Villa's balloon. Amadou Onana is floored, and Everton are uplifted.
To the box stuff.
In by McNeil, Calvert-Lewin got big. And
Everton are 2 to the good at the Villa. Grass to run into, McGinn wide of him. Onana. Dean. Watkins! Holt end! Feeling it again! How Ollie Watkins has thirsted for that! Aston Villa bang back in it. Tielemans beautifully weighted, and Watkins! 2 each. He's firing again, and once again a 2-goal Everton lead has gone missing. Tielemans, Barkley, Duran! Oh, wonderful! Just wonderful! That is a princely strike from John Duran! Open mouth or Villa's day, Everton's dismay. A simply glorious Aston Villa turnaround. John Duran with a goal deserving of an adjective superior to glorious.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight.